Welcome. I'm your host, Gordon Montgomery, and tonight, are motorcycle gangs as dangerous as they're said to be? What is it that makes them so dangerous? Who are the people behind the leather? That and more tonight on Weazel News. Motorcycle gangs, a curse or a blessing in disguise? Los Santos is notorious for their motorcycle clubs such as the Lost MC, Angels of Death, and Riders of Toxic. But are they really as dangerous as people may think? Let's see what our reporter on the field has to say about it. Over to you, Phineas.
Thank you, Gordon. I'm standing here outside of the Lost MC's clubhouse, located in East Vinewood and Los Santos.
Tell me a little bit about the history of the club.
Well, Gordon, the Lost MC was founded here in Los Santos in the late 70s by a group of Vietnam veterans. They have since become a well-recognized motorcycle club all over the country. It is said that their main source of income is dealing drugs throughout the states. This has been confirmed to be true in a few places, but not here in Los Santos. They are also described as a dangerous club, whom are not afraid to use violence to reach their goals.
Can you tell me anything about this violence you refer to?
Well, members have been known to land prison time for assault charges and even a few murders. On top of this, there has been tons of weapons seized by the police over the years.
Well, there has been a rumor lately that the Lost have been very quiet recently. Some has gone as far to say this is some kind of friendship has been struck between the clubs. What can you tell me about this?
Yes, it is true that it has been quite quiet around the Lost for the last couple of months. However, there are no known friendships or alliances between the Lost and the other clubs and the gangs in the city. Though, Lost members have been seen riding together with members from Riders of Toxic. This has been Phineas McSorley. Back to you, Gordon.
Thank you, Phineas. Very scary stuff. But can they be all bad? Who are the people behind the muscles? Let's look at the Riders of Toxic, a club that was founded in early 2019 and has grown very fast since. They now have 3 chapters in the state alone. 2 in Los Santos and 1 in Blaine County. The chapters in Los Santos is led by Jack Thomas, who runs the chapter in Del Perro, and Jonas Lopez, who runs the chapter in La Mesa. Both these men are known founders of the entire club. Both Jack and Jonas have served their fair share of time in prison. Last time, they were both inside for running an illegal gun running operation. It is currently unknown who is the leader in Blaine County. But now, over to Phineas, who I hear has managed to get an interview with someone close to the club. Over to you.
Well, thank you, Gordon. I'm standing here with Mr. Baines, father to one of the highest ranking members of the Riders of Toxic. So, Mr. Baines, can you tell me about the club?
Well, I bought this place when I was young, and I ran a car mechanic shop here for years and years. And then it came my time, and I started to think about retirement, so my son asked me, like, hey Dad, Can I take over the shop after you? Well, I said yes.
Well, interesting. Are you involved with the Riders of Tulsik in any way?
Well, I come around from time to time, say hey, take a couple of beers, I have known most of the members for years, even before Toba took over this garage here behind us. And I also help out with stuff from time to time. For example, back when my son Toby was wanted for shooting an FIB agent in the face, I hit his helicopter he escaped in my backyard.
Okay, can you tell me a little bit about the hierarchy of the club?
Well, every chapter has the usual roles, like president and vice president who oversees everything. You also have the SGT who handles the logistics. You also have an enforcer who takes care of business, you know. And a few more roles, members and prospects, usual.
Okay, are they really as bad as media portrays them to be?
Well, nah, not really. They always found time to help out if you ask for it. For example, when this club was pretty new, they were like security guards. Tequila La, Bahama Mamas, and those guys used to hire my son and his little friends. And when they had bigger events, they were like standing around looking scary, made sure everyone behaved, threw out someone, and, well, helping out.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Baines. Back to you in the studio, Gordon.
Very strange feller. Well, thank you, Phineas. So these bikers might not seem too friendly after all. From what we have heard from our report from the field, they are dangerous and are handling illicit goods. But now the big question. What can we, the citizens of Los Santos, do to protect ourselves against these people? Is it wise to fight back, or shall we stay clear? Now over to Phineas, who has managed to get an interview with an officer for the LSPD. Can you clear it up for us, Phineas?
So you do like more donuts? Oh, oh, uh, sure can, Gordon. I'm standing here with the Chief Inspector of the Gangs Division, Officer Jones. So, Officer Jones, should we, as citizens, be scared of these motorcycle?
No, there is little reason to be frightened by these people. They have a mean stature, sure, but these people very rarely hurt civilians. Their kind of violence is usually directed at each other.
Okay, what about collateral damage? Being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and you might end up in between two of these groups. Are there any places in the state that are more troublesome than others when it comes to these motorcycle clubs?
Sure, collateral damage is always a factor and will always be a factor in these kind of matters. The places with the most violence is currently Cypress Flats, La Mesa and Sandy Shores, especially Sandy Shores. There has been a lot going on there since the Riders of Tossic set up the new chapter up there.
I see. Does that have anything to do with the clubhouse that was burned to the ground up there a few months?
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Okay, but what can we as citizens do? Is it wise to fight back against these clubs, or should we stay clear altogether?
The best move to do is stay clear and let us handle this. As long as you know the troubled areas and are observant when walking in the areas, there is no need to worry.
Okay, how are you, the LSPD, going to stop these clubs?
That is not information I can give out at this moment.
Alright, thank you, Officer Jones. This has been Phineas McSorley, live from the streets of Los Santos. Back to you, Gordon.
Okay, thank you, Phineas. So there you have it, folks, straight from the LSPD itself. You have watched Weazel News special coverage with your host, Gordon Montgomery. Good night.